The top of the South Island is still reeling after flooding from last week's storm. Now it's being told to buckle up for another one arriving tomorrow. And not just any storm. This one's known as a bomb cyclone, and it's currently smashing into the New South Wales coast. Imogen Wells has more.
This is what's heading our way, a coastal low system currently lashing the New South Wales coast.
Causing damage, leading to those power outages, and it's due to this east coast low, which you can see spinning around off the coast.
The bomb cyclone descending on the state on Tuesday, leaving tens of thousands without power and triggering multiple emergency warnings. The state's coastal areas advised to stay indoors as the conditions worsened throughout the day.
This is the ocean here. You may think this is high tide, team. This is low tide.
Some flights in and out of Sydney cancelled, the weather at one point today reducing the airport to just one runway. What we'll be getting is the whiplash of all of this.
Thursday is due to be the wettest day. That's when most of the severe weather warnings are active. But it does look like wet weather will linger through some of those affected areas through Friday, potentially even into the weekend.
This is not what Tasman locals wanted to be doing just days after a significant weather event. Unfortunately, it's all hands on deck, preparing for round two.
People are crying out for sandbags, so that's the reason we've come up with the idea of making these sandbags. So please, there's plenty available. There is another rain coming forecast for tonight, for the next 2 days. Sandbags are here ready, do come down.
ITM Motueka downing tools to produce over 3,000 of them for locals in need.
We've got the great folks from Rapid Response, come up from Greymouth with a brand new hopper machine. Jason Inch building, local guy, he's come to the party with the digger, loading up the hopper. So these are all donated times, people contributing to the local community.
The ground is already saturated from the weekend's wild weather, meaning a higher risk of flooding and slips, with the soil unable to absorb much more. Civil Defence has had a briefing with concerned locals in Wakefield ahead of tomorrow's downpour, while still scrambling to recover from what's already hit.
We have people working around the clock, but the event is very widespread. I cannot guarantee that we have got everything right, and I'll be upfront about that now. And I know we have not yet got around to everybody to ascertain their welfare needs. This event was so widespread that we have not been able to cover every single piece of ground and to touch base with everybody.
Unideal timing. I guess the one good news is, although it is heavy rain, it's not looking as though it's going to last as long. So we're not seeing accumulations being as large, but we already got saturated ground, so that water is going to cause impacts a lot faster than what we saw last week.
Whatever hits, this community will be as ready as they can be.
If anyone out there can't get out of home, please give us a ring and we will make sure you get sandbags if you need them.
Sticking together and braced for round two.
Well, Imogen is here now with more details on those watches and warnings, Imo.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Thursday has the potential to get really gnarly for parts of the country. Here's what we're looking at so far. Heavy rain warnings from first thing tomorrow for Taranaki, Tasman and Nelson districts, and also Marlborough. Now, those last three could be in for a month's worth of rain over the next couple of days. Bay of Plenty, yours kicks in mid-morning. It's 4 p.m. for Tairāwhiti. Then we're looking at heavy rain watches for Northland to Auckland, stretching to the Coromandel, Waikato, Waitomo, Taupō and Taumaranui too. We've got wind watches for the top of the north as well, and road snowfall warnings. There is a lot coming our way, and I'll have your full forecast after sport.
Thanks so much, Imo. Well, a short time ago, I spoke to Tasman Mayor Tim King. Now, he was out on his farm preparing for this next possible onslaught.
So the latest is we've been issued with another series of orange weather warnings from Met Service, so indicating significant rainfall for various parts of the region over the next 24 hours. So flat out preparing for the worst case scenario. So if that eventuates, trying to be prepared as best as possible.
OK, and who is in the firing line this time? Are you thinking it's going to be some of the same areas that are already sodden and have already flooded?
Potentially, yes. The flooding and the rainfall previously is quite widespread, and the forecast this time indicates kind of west of Motueka, up the Motueka Valley, so similar areas. But we're very aware in this region that the forecasts are just that, and that it can move around quite quickly. Things can change rapidly. And so we're preparing as though it could hit certainly all of the areas that have previously been impacted, but also some others, particularly in the west, so over in Golden Bay. And not discounting the fact that it could impact on some of those areas that weren't affected previously.
Yeah, and look, the Met Service is saying to brace for potentially days of this weather. How's the community feeling about it?
Oh, there's a huge amount of stress. People who have already been impacted obviously are very stressed, trying to clean up, trying to prepare for this. Those who haven't necessarily been impacted, just concerned about they might be this time around. So, yeah, it's a very stressful situation to have two of these events so soon, one after another.
Yeah, and you're trying to steer your community through what looks like yet another potentially extreme weather event, but you're also grieving the loss of your friend Peter Lyons, who was killed by a tree while clearing flood debris. How are you holding up right now?
It's been very tough. It's been a very tough few days, certainly for the immediate family and his closest friends. It was a huge shock, and it changes the complexion of an event like this. The property damage is severe, and in many cases, absolutely devastating for people and their properties and their livelihoods. Largely, that can be recovered over time. Unfortunately, when there is a fatality and someone loses their life, that's something that you can't get back. So, yeah, it's certainly added to the challenges that we're already facing.
Yeah, and you don't want to unnecessarily frighten people, but it does highlight the danger. So what is your advice for the community at this moment?
Yeah, absolutely. In that desire or rush to want to start cleaning up, to prepare for what's coming, just whatever you do it carefully. Just take absolute precautions if you're out trying to clean up, trying to do that preparation. Make sure you look after yourself first. That's the key advice. At the end of the day, all the rest of the stuff, as I said, can be recovered. It might take time. It's going to be costly, but we really don't want to have any more loss of life in the next few days.
Yeah. Look, it's a huge agricultural area, Tasman. You know, farming, orchardists, hops growers. Do you think that the second event coming so quickly might make people question what they're doing?
Oh, I don't think so. Look, I've lived in rural communities my whole life, and people do it because they're passionate, they love what they do, they're so committed. They go through the ups and downs of markets, the ups and downs of weather, the ups and downs of events like this. And although this is a massive event, probably the biggest event in most people's lifetimes, I'm pretty sure that most of them will, they'll recover from this. They'll work hard to get back to doing what they love. Doing what they're passionate about, doing what in many cases they've done for generations. Peter Lyons was a fifth generation hop grower, and he's seen or had seen these things before. I'm pretty confident we'll bounce back. It's not going to be easy. Like I say, it'll take time and it'll be costly, but it's what rural communities do.